I'm Matt Staniszewski, and this is America Period. We are continuing our coverage of the election 2023 here in Washington County, Pennsylvania. I'm with Ray Phillips. He's running for Clerk of Courts, again, here in Washington County, Pennsylvania. Now, I know what running for local office feels like. I've won many times. I did lose one time. So how are you on campaign trail, and what are you hearing so far?
Thank you, Matt, for having me. Definitely appreciate the opportunity. And as far as the campaign trail, I mean, it's been grueling. The Republican Party schedules a lot of events and keeps us really moving. And, last night we did, or yesterday afternoon, we did trunk or treat at North Strabane, nearly 1,000 people.
1,000 people, Ray.
Yeah, North Strabane was just overwhelming yesterday. It was great to meet all those people and see the kids and stuff. Yeah, it was definitely a great event. I actually was slated to stop at Hill Church first, but one of the supervisors said, "Don't worry, all those kids are going to walk right through that trunk or treat and head right here. So you're going to kill two birds with one stone." So
nice.
Worked out very well. And it's been a lot of work, but it's been very satisfying to meet so many people, so much support. I have many people walk up to me, see my shirt, see my sweatshirt, whatever I have on, or the sticker on my truck, and say, we got you on November 7th. So looking forward to that coming and going, to be honest with you.
Well, and Ray, so you're running for row office, and I've been there. Like I mentioned, I've won plenty of campaigns. I lost one. So I can totally relate and understand the grueling schedule you have running for a countywide office. So much respect. Even just putting your name on a ballot says a lot. With that being said, a lot of people even ask, what a role of a county commissioner is. A lot of times they see them showing up as like Ed McMahon with the check, which we know they do plenty more than that. But a lot of people wonder, what does a clerk of courts do?
Well, the clerk of courts, it's actually a very important office. It handles the criminal fines, fees, and that part of the administration. It's the liaison between the people and the courthouse, and the system. So they do expungements, they do record searches, they do appeals. They collect all the money on the larger criminal fines over $5,000. So it's a very busy and vital office for the courthouse to keep on the straight and narrow, which that hasn't been the case over the last 8 years.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. So correct, the office. Again, my opinion, but also a number of other individuals, they see that the office has been surrounded by a lot of drama over past few years with the current clerk, Brenda Davis, who let's be real, at least for me, she was a disaster as mayor for the city of Washington, and I'm not surprised that she was hauled out by the voters moving forward. What do you intend to do differently for that office?
I mean, speaking of the candidates that I have went up against, I mean, again, it has been a mess. I don't know them personally. Just from an election standpoint is all how I know them. We both ran clean campaigns.
Good. Very
no
good.
Stones being thrown. We just went out and work hard and see who comes out on top. And I just think that the whole situation of the way things went in the clerk of courts office the last 8 years has just been, I don't know, it's been just kind of tilted on its side, and it needs somebody in there to put the stability to the office. And I feel I'm that person. I just feel that if I get in there, my goal is to stay out of the papers, not have my name brought up at all until I'm ready to run again in 4 years. So I think that kind of sums it up. I don't want to be in the limelight. I want to help people in the office. And if I could do anything from fundraisers to, anything that it takes outside of being in the paper for bad things. I mean, if someone wants to put me in the paper and say, hey, he really helped this person, or if somebody writes the paper and says, wow, this was a great opportunity, that we need more positive press out of that office, about who we've helped and what we've done.
So high touch and high level of service, correct?
Absolutely. You want people to walk in that office and feel comfortable, not like, wow, what's going to happen? I got to walk in the clerk of courts offices, and it's been,
what kind of drama are we going to walk into today, right?
Yeah, exactly. And again,
which is sad. I mean, it's sad, but
yeah, and I don't know all the specifics because I don't work there right now. I'm planning on starting that after the first of the year, so I'll know more then. But I really don't. I'm not here. Like I said, we didn't throw any stones. I don't plan on throwing any stones in the general election here coming up. So that's really try to keep it clean and just outwork my opponent, which I do. So.
Oh, I know. Out of all the candidates, I think you're one of the hardest workers. Now, and Ray, which leads me into, this is your first bid for office. And brother, I've known you for 25 plus years. And God bless anyone who puts her hat in the ring to run for office. Been there, done that. I have to ask my friends, why are you doing this?
Over the years, over the last several years, people have approached me, friends, family, and said, you think you'd be a good fit for this because you're, very level-headed, and you keep your cool about yourself, and you keep to yourself, and don't, I'm not one of those people to go out there and start talking about other people. That's
right.
That's what's really, if you have that, that's a great way to be in one of these offices, because again, it's kind of a closed knit and everybody's talking about everybody. So I prefer to keep out of that stuff and run a clean office as I've run my businesses, as I've run my territories in the past. Just continue or put in place a culture of, we're going to help the people. We're going to do it right.
And for those who don't know, I mean, first of all, you're a badass wrestler. Let's start with that, because recently,
that was a long time ago.
But Ray, recently you had an event. What, you wrestled like last week, dude? That's pretty bad.
A week ago, man. A week ago yesterday. Yes, a week ago. Saturday.
Wait, that was yesterday? Okay.
A week ago from yesterday. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in a nutshell, it was an alumni event, Waynesburg versus Canumack. And it went, it could have went back. You could have been 80, and they try to match people up within 5 years older or younger, and 10 pounds weight higher or lower. Okay. And it was just a great event. There were over 1,000 people in Waynesburg's gym at $10 a head. So,
really,
it was a lot of money.
Oh, cool.
The youth programs of those two programs.
A nice way to contribute to raising funds for that program. So, congratulations
and I've always said, going back to the WPIL championship 40 years ago, the sport has given me so much more than I could ever give back. So, when it comes to any of these events, you'll always see me. I was getting petitions signed at the local state qualifier at Trinity. I go to these events. I'm impressed that sport's coming back, because it builds character in young men. It makes them men. It takes a boy and makes him a man. I really love the sport. It's tough, and it sets you up for being a stronger person in life.
$1 million question, and not that it's about winning. At this fundraiser, obviously, you helped raise funds. Did you win?
No, I didn't know. It was a close match.
Dude, what the heck, man? Come on.
Very good opponent. So, I really wish I had more time. The campaign trail has not allowed me to wrestle and work out as much as I wanted to. So that, and, you go and you work out one time, and you're wrestling a guy who wrestles with the team there, who was their coach. That's who I wrestled. He used to be their coach. And
really?
He wrestles 2 or 3 times a week. And I wrestled,
come on now,
35 years. So, yeah. So, I mean, I made a good showing. The whole team made a good showing. I do think that our opponents had a lot more time on the mat in the last few months since this was announced. we just, a lot of people working, and I'm campaigning, and
right,
guys working night shift. They just wanted to do the right thing for the youth program and bring, I get involved in everything, night at the races, everything that they have for football, and as far as anything in the county, I've been to the Trinity gun bashes. I try to support sports because sports has done so much for me.
Now, on top of, obviously supporting our youth, raising funds for those programs, you worked in the corporate environment, and you're also an entrepreneur, building your own small business here in Washington County. Please let our viewers know, who is Ray Phillips?
Well, on a professional level, accepted a football scholarship to Middle Tennessee State University out of college. Had a great experience there for 2 years, and just didn't fit into the football program the way I thought. It was just a different style of defense than I was accustomed to. So I transferred to Washington and Jefferson, and played football there for 2 years, and actually wrestled for a year. Coach White decided to drag me out on the mat one year when
Nice.
he needed a backup. So, but just an overall great experience. Both schools had given me an opportunity to meet a vast array of people from different walks of life. Two totally different opposite ends of the spectrum. So it's really helped build me into what I am. And, education wise, I graduated from W&J with a psychology degree, and I had a good laugh at the NAACP League of Women's Voters. I said, psychology degree, that's perfect for the courthouse. And, I got a good laugh out of it. There was probably 80.
Sad but true, Ray.
Yeah. So
at this point, definitely.
That degree is with a heavy business background too, kind of like how managers motivate type classes like that, business, psychology of business, things like that. So it was geared towards business. But go ahead.
No, be my, hey.
I was just going to say, I also,
friend.
so I left, I left W&J and more or less got into work with Sherwin-Williams for 20 years with actually a Fortune 200 company, one of the leading companies in the world in coatings, and worked in the automotive division for the most of those 20 years, and different levels. Started off, of course, sales, and then moved up into business development, and just had a great opportunity to work there with a great company. It's like a big family. And towards the end,
Nice.
Things changed, went more corporate, new CEO, and I just felt it was time. There was pressures coming from all different kinds of directions there. You know how that all works. That's the corporate environment changes daily. So started my own business before I actually left there, and had somebody working at the shop, which the shop does collision repair, and we do something no one else does, rust repair. So all the other body
nice.
shops will send me the rust repair and the mechanical shops for inspection. So I have a feeder system in place, and I have it set up so upon winning this office, I'll have somebody there all day to get the estimates, gather the information, and I have a guy comes in at night also and does work. So I already have it all set up. That'll work fine. And as far as personally, 2 daughters, both graduated college, both went to Canon McMillan.
Congratulations and God bless, man.
Yeah, perfect. And my oldest daughter, I've been fortunate enough, she married a great guy, and he had a 2-year-old or 1-year-old when they met. He's 4 now, and she's expecting my first grandson, but I actually consider my second, because I'm pap Ray to him, so that's all that matters.
Love it, and congratulations.
Great situation.
God bless, my friend.
Yeah. So both of my daughters have great guys in their lives. I couldn't have handpicked better guys. So very happy with that. And my mom's still with us, and she plugs away every day. She loves going to bingo, and my brother Pat has helped me tremendously with this. I couldn't have done it without my brother Pat. He's with me every step of the way. And it's been a grind. It's really been a grind, from signs to, shirts to just getting out and shaking hands and going to all the events. And, I remember at the North Tremaine Community Days, I was standing there, and the national anthem started to play, and I was standing there with my hand on my heart, and he videoed it. I was in line with like firemen and first responders, and didn't even know it until he posted it and tagged me in it. And it just kind of went crazy how many people loved that video. They just, it was a great time. And I would have never thought of that, but he did. And it was a good event. So.
Very nice. Very nice. So, okay, the elephant in the room, no pun intended. My cousin is your opponent. Why do you feel you're a better candidate than my cousin?
Well, I believe in, as I did in the primary, in running a good race, a legitimate race. My credentials are, and anybody could call me, and at the end, I'll give you my phone number. People can feel free to call me. I'll send them a copy of my diploma. I'll send them my work history. I'll send them my resume if they want. I have nothing to hide. My background is super clean. I just feel at this point, with my business background, everything we just talked about, starting a business, building a business, having employees, I feel there's not even a comparison between us as candidates. I bring so much more to the table as far as and education doesn't mean everything, but it just builds you into the person you are, right. Especially with going to two different, there's not a person that I can't handle, whether it be a normal everyday transaction or a conflict. I went to school. I went way out of my comfort zone in Tennessee. Never been to the South. I lived there for 2 years. Then I come up and I'm dealing with people at W&J, students at W&J whose parents are attorneys and doctors. So you could throw just about anything out at me and I'll handle it. And that's where I feel I'm the strongest candidate there. The office will run smooth. I have technology. As you know, a very good friend of ours back in the late 90s, computers were $4,000. We used to drive to Monroeville, pick up the hard drives, pick up the cases, pick up the power supplies, put the memory in it, would build those things for $900. So, it was like state-of-the-art computers. We built them ourselves. So, I'm not afraid if something's not working to get in there, get on the phone with somebody. I'll go in and fix it, with the help of tech or whatever it takes. So
now Ray, you've been vocal about term limits and, obviously treating some of the offices as the quote family heirloom. Can you speak about that a little bit, please?
Well, as I go around the county and talk to different people, it seems to be most people are in favor of some type of term limit. I'm not one to determine that, but I think it should be something to be looked at, in all levels of government. I think, you're talking the towns and municipalities, then you're talking about the county, and then it goes all the way up through. I turn on TV and I see some of these senators and people in the House of Representatives, they're to the point where they can barely function. Do you need that power, and do you need that, to have that swag of being on TV still? I don't. It's time to retire. So I think in all levels of government, term limits are necessary. I wouldn't be one to sit here and say 16 years, 8 years. Right. I don't. That needs to be on an individualized basis for every position. But yeah, I do think the time comes. And, as far as nepotism, my brother Pat's, like I said, I just mentioned him. He's a rock. He's a super intelligent guy. I'd love more than anything to hire him the day I win the race. But it can't be. That's just not the way it works, But, there are a lot of people working in that courthouse from legacy. They're hired in because someone who's not even working there anymore might have hired them. So that needs to be, if there's a good reason for it, run it through a committee, and have it approved. But I think that becomes an issue. The nepotism thing, it needs to be looked at. Again, I'm running for an office that it does not handle any policy. It's service. Right. But that's my own personal opinion. So I would have nothing to do with that. And I think getting on that point, realizing that this office is an office of service and staying in your own lane is a big part of running this office successfully. Whereas that has kind of come off the tracks in the last 8 years.
Right. I would agree with you. I think it did, the office is no longer currently staying within their quote lane. I totally agree with you on that one. So, Ray, one other issue is the turnout. So, obviously, here in Washington County, Pennsylvania, the turnout was not as people would expect it to be in the primary. What is your message moving forward with the voters here in Washington County, Pennsylvania?
As you know, we've knocked on some doors. When I knock on doors, or when I'm at football games, or we've hit a lot of these county football games, inter-county football games, and we share the message that we have to get out and vote. And then there's approximately 11,000 more Republicans in this county than there are Democrats or independents. So we need to get that base out to vote. And I do think under the current climate, we will have a better turnout this fall than we did in the spring. But, that's imperative. Do I think I'll get votes on the Democratic side? Absolutely. I think I'll get a lot.
I agree.
Because I'm the type of candidate that that doesn't matter. When I get in that office, it doesn't matter if a judge is a Republican or a Democrat, or if the person walking the door, shouldn't even know that or care about that. You're there to service both the judges, the courts, and the people. So at this point in time, Republican or Democrat has nothing to do with it. And I've stressed that. I've stressed the fact to get out and vote. For both parties, it's important that we pick the right people to have in these jobs for the next 4 years. I'm an open book. And again, I will give you my phone number here in a minute, and reach out to me on social media. Reach out to me any way you want to. Again, my phone number, on my Facebook page for the candidate, it says open always. So there's no business hours there. You have a question about why you want to vote for me, or why you should or should not vote for me, call me. I'll make it clear. And
so you have Facebook, and I apologize for interrupting. You have Facebook. You don't have Instagram or anything like that. You're predominantly.
I do not. I predominantly went with Facebook. Did not even go to the web page because I put a lot of time and effort into the Facebook. Every day I go on there and I do one thing or another, and just try to keep it moving and keep gaining momentum on the social media part of things. And in the looking at the whole base of voters, Facebook's the sweet spot, because we're trying to attract younger voters, but they don't necessarily gravitate towards Facebook right now.
Right.
My daughter's in her early 20s. She doesn't even have Facebook. So,
wait, really?
Yes, she does not have.
She does not have Facebook.
She has everything but Facebook, but she does not have Facebook. Yeah.
So
daughter has it.
So, Ray, when people want to, volunteer, get a yard sign, make phone calls for you, heck, even donate some money, how can they contact you? And I know you mentioned you're about to give your phone number out. Very brave. Much love.
Yeah, well, absolutely. My phone number is 724-350-6153. I've had it for 20 plus years. And feel free to call me. Feel free to reach out on Facebook. Or, if somebody reaches out to you, give them my contact, give them my email, give whatever it takes.
So what are the pages on Facebook, by the way?
Mine is just Ray Phillips, and then Ray Phillips 4, the number 4, Washington County Clerk of Courts. But if you search Ray Phillips, they're both going to come up.
I gotcha. Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you want to add, my friend?
No, I just I thank you for giving me the time to speak. I thank you for putting me in this, giving me this platform. And just want to say to the voters of Washington County, get out and vote first. And if you want to vote for the best candidate that's going to run the best, tightest office, definitely vote for me. Ray
Phillips, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you talking about the Clerk of Courts office, and look forward to seeing you Election Day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.